thanking the Almighty Yah for all you've done for all of us. We certainly appreciate you, Yah, for all you do. We love your laws, your statutes, and your commandments.
As I said, hallelujah,
Hallelujah.
hallelujah,
Hallelujah.
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 Praise the Almighty Yah.
Praise the Almighty Yah.
God is righteous.
God is righteous.
God is holy.
God is holy.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
At this time, as we are now face to place where Yah's holy place, His holy name, we'll open with a prayer as our precious brother, Dr. Kelly, leads us in word.
Our gracious Heavenly Father, O great King of Israel, who sits high and looks low. Thank you, Father Yah, for waking us up this morning. Thank you, Father Yah, for allowing us to see another Holy Shabbat, one we haven't seen before. We thank you, Father Yah, for giving us the strength to come in to worship, Father Yah, to hopefully give you the thanks and praise that you deserve, Father Yah. Please give us the humble spirit, Father Yah, to accept your word, Father Yah. And Father Yah, please allow us to accept your word and do it. Please forgive us for our many sins that we have sinned against you, Father Yah. Please continue to have mercy on us, Father Yah, like you did in the days of old with our forefathers, Father Yah. You blessed our forefathers, Father Yah, and I know that if we turn back to you, Father Yah, you will bless and do the same for us. I pray that you continue to bless us, Father Yah. Please strengthen us, Father Yah, to where the things that divide us right now, Father Yah, won't divide us, Father Yah. Father Yah, please set the crooked things straight, Father Yah. If we don't see eye to eye, Father Yah, please bless us not to fall out with one another just because we don't see eye to eye. Please allow us to learn, Father Yah, to agree to disagree. We pray that you continue to bless the leadership, Father Yah, that's giving your word, Father Yah. Please allow your word to be given, Father Yah. Please allow them to teach your word and not their own. Please continue to bless the elders, Father Yah. Please strengthen them with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, Father Yah. And Father Yah, please strengthen us all that's trying to, Father Yah, that's trying to do right, Father Yah. We have all these things that's out here, Father Yah, that can kind of get our attention to do the wrong thing, Father Yah. But please bless us to stay on the right path. We pray that you continue to bless the sick. We pray that you continue to bless the poor, be afflicted, be bereaved, Father Yah. And also like to thank you once again, Father Yah, for allowing us to make it through a week, Father Yah. Father Yah, please prepare our hearts and minds and souls, Father Yah, to hear your word, Father Yah. These are many blessings we ask in our holy name, Father Yah, by Shem, hallelujah. 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 Praise the Almighty Yah.
Praise the Almighty Yah.
Yah is righteous.
Yah is righteous.
And Yah is holy.
Yah is holy.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
You all may be seated as you all will. Turn your books to Psalms 148. We will alternate reading verses 1 through 14. Praise ye Yah. Praise ye Yah from the heavens. Praise him in the heights.
Praise him, all his angels. Praise him, all his hosts.
Praise ye him, sun and the moon. Praise ye him, all ye stars of light. Let them praise the name of Yah, for he commanded and they were great. Praise Yah from the earth, ye dragons and all beasts. Mountains and all hills, fruitful trees and all cedars. Kings of the earth and all people, princes and all judges of the earth. Let them praise the name of Yah, for he commanded. For his name alone is excellent, and his glory is above the earth and heaven. Let's all say hallelujah.
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 Praise the Almighty Yah.
Praise the Almighty Yah.
God is righteous.
God is righteous.
God is holy.
God is holy.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Now have a congregational song soon and very soon.
Soon and very soon.
Soon and very soon.
We are going to Israel. Soon and very soon. We are going to Israel. Soon and very soon.
Hallelujah.
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 Praise the Almighty Yah. God is righteous.
God is righteous.
God is holy.
God is holy.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
At this time, as well, and I turn out to the book of Proverbs, the 3rd chapter. We will alternate reading verses 1 through 13. My son, forget not my law, for let thine heart keep my commandments. Let not mercy and truth forsake thee. Bind them about thy neck. Write them upon the table of thine heart.
So shall I find favor in him and understanding. Sight of him whose hand made.
Trust in Yah with all thy heart, and lean not to thy own understanding.
In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths.
Be not wise in thy own eyes. Fear Yah, and depart from evil.
And he shall be careful of thy neighbor, and narrow of thy own.
Honor Yah with thy substance, and with the first fruits of thy increase.
So shall thy barns be filled with plenty, and thy grace shall never run out.
My son, despise not the chastening of Yah, neither be weary of his correction.
Whom thou lovest, he corrected, even as the father the son, in whom he delights.
Happy is the man that findeth wisdom, and the man that getteth understanding. Because I say, hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
And after we now turn our book to the book of Deuteronomy, the 4th chapter, we will read verses 1 through 8 in unison. Now therefore hearken, O Yisrael, unto the statutes, and unto the judgments, which I teach you, for to do them, that you may live, and go in and possess the land, which God the Elohim of your fathers giveth you. You shall not add unto the word which I command you, neither shall you diminish out from it, that you may keep the commandments of Yah your Elohim, which I command you this day. Your eyes have seen what Yah did to Joseph in Egypt, for all the men that followed the big Egypt. Yah the Elohim that destroyed them from among you. But ye that did cleave unto Yah Elohim, are alive every one of you this day. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as Yah the Elohim commanded me, that ye should do so in the land where ye go to possess it. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom, your understanding, and the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. For what nation is there so great?
Who has Elohim so nigh unto them, as
And
thou
our
art
Elohim
Elohim,
is in all things that we call upon him for. And what nation is there so great that has statutes and judgments
so lightly in all this law, which I set before you
this day? Let us say hallelujah,
Hallelujah.
hallelujah,
Hallelujah.
hallelujah,
Hallelujah.
Praise the Almighty Yah.
Praise the Almighty God.
Yah is righteous,
God is righteous.
Yah is holy,
God is holy.
hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
And now we now turn our book to the book of Deuteronomy, the 10th chapter. We'll read verses 12 through 22 in unison. And now, Yisrael, what does Yah the Elohim require of thee? But to fear Yah the Elohim, to walk in all his ways, and to love him, and to serve Yah the Elohim with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and to keep the commandments of Yah, and his statutes, which I command thee this day for thy Elohim. Behold, the heaven and heaven of heaven is Yah the Elohim, the earth also, with all that therein is. Only God had delighted thy fathers to love them, and he chose their seed after them, even you above all people, as it is this day. Circumcise therefore the foreskin of your heart, and keep your more stiff-necked. For Yah the Elohim is Elohim of kings, and masters of masters, a great Elohim, a mighty and a terrible, because the God is not person, nor favorite Lord. He does execute the judgment of the fathers and will, and of the stranger, in giving them food and raiment. Love ye therefore the stranger, for you were strangers in the land of Egypt. Thou shalt fear Yah the Elohim, him shalt thou serve, and to him shalt thou cleave, and swear by his name. He is thy praise, and he is thy Elohim, that hath done these the great and terrible things, which thy eyes have seen. Thy fathers were bound to Egypt, with resort in them person, and now Yah the Elohim hath made thee a star of heaven, for a multitude. hallelujah,
Hallelujah.
hallelujah,
Hallelujah.
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 Praise the Almighty Yah.
Praise the Almighty Yah.
Yah is righteous.
Yah is righteous.
Yah is holy.
Yah is holy.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Now turn our books to the book of Numbers, 37 through 41 in unison. And Yah spoken to Moses, saying, speaking to the children of Israel, and bid them that make them friends in the border of their garment, throughout their generation, and they put upon the friends for the border a ring of blue, and it shall be unto you for a friend, that you may look upon it, and remember all the commandments of God, and do them, and that ye seek not your own heart and your own eyes, after which you to go forward, that ye may remember and do all my commandments, and be holy unto your life. I am Yah your Elohim, which brought you out of the land of Egypt, to be your Elohim. I am Yah your Elohim. Let's all say hallelujah.
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 Praise the Almighty Yah.
Praise the Almighty Yah.
Yah is righteous.
Yah is righteous.
Yah is holy.
Yah is holy.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Now have a song of March of Zion.
We're marching.
We're marching, we're marching up to Zion.
That beautiful.
That beautiful city of God.
We're marching.
We're marching, we're marching up to Zion.
That beautiful.
That beautiful city of God.
We love God.
Oh yes,
Let our joy be known.
oh yes. In a song of sweet accord, and we march around the throne.
We're marching.
We're marching up to Zion.
That beautiful.
That beautiful city of God.
We're marching.
We're marching up to Zion.
That beautiful.
That beautiful city of God.
So refuse to sing.
Oh yes,
Hallelujah.
oh yes, all the children of Israel may preach their joy abroad.
We're marching.
We're marching up to Zion.
That beautiful.
That beautiful city of God.
We're marching.
We're marching up to Zion.
That beautiful.
That beautiful, that wonderful, that glorious, victorious, that beautiful city of God. Hallelujah.
Let's all say hallelujah.
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 Praise the Almighty Yah.
Praise the Almighty Yah.
Yah is righteous.
Yah is righteous.
Yah is holy.
Yah is holy.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Let's all now receive the right shout. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
This is my story. This is my song. This is my song. Praising my Savior. All my days long. All my days long.
We give the praise to Him.
Now all His grace to fill in His place. See it on my face, it makes me wanna
Praise God.
right now.
We need to praise Him.
And every time I'm in a bind, even if my troubles is a waste of time. Right now.
We need to praise Him.
Father, help me save my soul.
Father, help me save my soul.
I don't wanna do no wrong.
I don't want to do no wrong.
Father, want you
all say hallelujah.
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 Praise the Almighty Yah.
Praise the Almighty Yah.
Yah is righteous.
Yah is righteous.
Yah is holy.
Yah is holy.
And so we all remain standing to receive the Mowreh, Yosaf.
Let us all say hallelujah.
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 Praise the mighty Yah.
Praise the mighty Yah.
Yah is righteous.
Yah is righteous.
Yah is holy.
Yah is holy.
Let all of our elders be seated. I want to give honor and praise to the Most High for our elders. The Creator has blessed us with leaders who have guided us and kept us and led us over the years. And we thank the Most High for the blessing that He has bestowed upon us. And we pray that He continue to give us the leaders that we need to be able to govern His people. Let us all say hallelujah.
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 Praise the mighty Yah.
Praise the mighty Yah.
Yah is righteous.
Yah is righteous.
Yah is holy.
Yah is holy.
You may be seated. We have a treat for you all today. After the message, we're going to have our young people. We're going to have them to come up and do a play for us. So make sure you stick around for that and let us support our children.
Hallelujah.
I pray that the Most High will continue to bless all of those who are sick and shut in, all of those who are in need and want. We pray that the Most High will continue to bless the whole house of Yisrael. Because truly, we need the Most High's blessing. When we see all of the things that are happening in the world today, we know that we need the Most High's blessing. Today I want to talk to you about learn not the ways of the heathen. Learn not the ways of the heathen. We can easily see how this nation is being run by its government. We can see all of the foolishness that is going on in this country and all of the racism and all of the other isms that are going on, and we can understand that the Most High is not pleased with this nation. And we should do everything in our power to try to avoid anything that this nation has. Because when we see what this nation is doing, if we are to follow it, we can get caught up in the same destruction that is going to happen to this nation. We are to avoid trying to be like all of the nations that are around us. We have to separate ourselves. And we have to separate ourselves according to the words of the Most High. I want us to go to Leviticus, the 18th chapter. The 18th chapter, I want us to start reading at the first verse. It says, "And the Creator spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Yisrael, and say unto them, I am Yah, your Elohim. After the doing of the land of Egypt, wherein ye dwell, shall ye not do." The Creator say, now, that nation that you just left, I don't want you doing nothing that you was doing in that land.
And when we leave this land, the Creator is not going to want us to do anything that we were doing in this land. He said, after the doing of the land of Canaan, he said, even the land that I'm finna bring you in, don't do nothing that you see that land doing. In the land of Canaan, whether I bring you, shall you not do, neither shall you walk in their ordinance. You shall do my judgments and keep my ordinance to walk therein. I am Yah, your Elohim. Ye shall therefore keep my statutes and my judgment, which if a man do, he shall live in them. I am Yah. If you want to live, if you want to have long life, then we have to learn how to do the will of the Most High. Learn how to keep His commandments, His statutes, and His judgment, which is one of the things that we are not doing wholeheartedly. The Creator also tells us in Jeremiah, the 2nd chapter, in Jeremiah, the 10th chapter, rather, in the 2nd verse. Thus says Yah, learn not the ways of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven. For the heathens are dismayed at them. Learn not the ways of the heathen. Because when you learn to do what the heathens do, it takes you away from the Almighty. About some of the things that you see this heathen do. And you can understand that we have to do things different from the way that he do it. And I know it's hard when we see other nations doing things. I talk to people and they would say, well, everybody else is doing it. And just because everybody else is doing it, that doesn't make it right. We have to do what the Most High tells us to do. Look at Deuteronomy, the 12th chapter. In the 29th verse, it says, when the Creator thy Elohim shall cut off the nations from before thee, whether thou goest to possess them, and thou succeedeth them, and dwelleth in their land. He said, take heed to thyself, that thou be not snared by following them, after that they be destroyed from before thee. Make sure that you don't follow after them, and that thou inquire not after their deity. Don't even ask about their deities. Don't even inquire of them, saying, how did these nations serve their deities? Even so would I do likewise. All you got to do is look at America. And in America, every nation that then came to America serving their deity, even if they become Christians, they still serve their deity. Even if they are Muslim, you got Muslims who are Christians. Even if they Hebrew Israelites, you have Hebrew Israelites that are Christians. Because we want to know about these other deities that the nations have. It says, thou shalt not do so unto Yah thy Elohim. For every abomination to every abomination to Yah which he hated, have they done unto their deity.
Hallelujah.
For even their sons and their daughters light a fire to their deities. Now, in this nation, they may not be burning their children, but they burn the Most High's child, they say. So what's the difference? One killing is still a killing. And listen to what the Creator tells them. What things soever I command you, observe to do it. Thou shalt not add thereto, nor diminish from it. Whatever the Creator is telling us to do, that's what we need to do. We don't need to add to it, nor take away from it. The bottom line is that we need to serve the Most High. And we need to worship Him and worship Him only. And when we start worshiping the Most High, that's when we start having problems. Look at Leviticus, the 20th chapter. In the 22nd verse. The Creator let us know that we have to serve Him. It says, ye shall therefore keep all my statutes and all my judgments, and do them, that the land whether I bring you to dwell therein spew you not out. And ye shall not walk in the manner of the nation, which I cast out before you, for they committed all these abominations. And therefore I abhor them. But I have said unto you, you shall inherit their land, and I will give it unto you to possess it, a land that floweth with milk and honey. I am Yah, your Elohim, which have separated you from other people. The Creator said He has separated us from other people, from other nations. We are not to be like them. Ye shall therefore put a difference between clean beasts and unclean. You got to eat right. And between the unclean fowls and the clean. And you shall not make your soul abominable by beasts or by fowl, or by any manner of living thing that creepeth upon the ground, which I have separated from you as unclean. They told us that was we shouldn't eat. And I'm using this because I'm trying to show you how to separate yourself from the nation. You live in America. We don't have to act like the people in America. We can separate ourselves in the way we act, in the things that we do, in the things that we eat, in the things that we say. It says, ye shall be holy unto me, for I am Yah. For I, Yah, am holy. And I have severed you from other people, that you should be mine. The Creator has separated us. And when we understand that we are separate from there's a way that we must act. There's a way. There are certain things that we must do. And I know people all the time tell me, well, we're in America, how can we be separated from this man? We work on his job. How can we today? You can. We can keep the Sabbath. We can be holy. And I'm telling you, if you keep the covenant that the Creator made with us, He will deliver us and be with us. But we have to do everything that the Most High told us to do. Look at Deuteronomy, the 7th chapter. in the 22nd verse. When our forefathers was promised the land of Canaan, the Most High let them know. He let them conquer this land for them. But everything that the Creator do for us is conditional. There are certain things that you have to do for Him. Our forefathers originally didn't conquer the land. Why? Because they used to be obedient to the words of the Most High. So if we want what the Creator promised us, we have to keep His commandments, His statutes, and His judgment. The Creator tells us in Deuteronomy, the 7th chapter, in the 22nd verse, and the Creator Elohim will put out those nations before thee. Listen to how He would do it. And little. He wouldn't do it all at once. Because if He did it all at once, then may destroy us. But He said, by little. Thou mayest not consume them at once, lest the beasts of the field increase upon thee. But the Creator Elohim shall deliver them unto thee, and shall destroy them with a mighty hand, with a mighty destruction, until they be. And He shall deliver their king into thine hand. Thou shalt destroy their name from under heaven, and there shall no man be able to stand before thee until thou have destroyed them. The graven images of their deities shall ye burn with fire. Thou shalt not desire of the gold that is upon them, neither nor take it unto thee, lest thou be snared therein. So what is the Creator saying? The images of gold and the images of silver that they have, don't even take it for yourself. Why? Because what'll happen, we'll start worshiping that deity. You see it all the time. People have the image of a cross around their neck. Some kind of silver, some kind of deity representing the deity that they believe in. And the Creator say, don't even take silver and their gold from them, because it can be a snare to you. He didn't say don't take the other gold. They got a gold mine. He ain't talking about that. He's talking about the things that is a curse to you. Abomination to Yahweh Elohim. Neither shall thou bring an abomination into thine house. Don't even bring something that belongs to another deity in your house. So we shouldn't have a picture of Christ or a cross or image or whatever other thing. It shouldn't even be in your house. Lest thou be a cursed thing like it. The Creator said you're going to be cursed just like that thing you brought in your house. But thou shalt utterly detest it, and thou shalt utterly abhor it, for it's a cursed thing. It's a cursed thing. And I want to show you an example of what Joshua told the people when they went into the land of Ai. Look at Joshua, the 6th chapter. In the 18th verse. It says, And ye in any wise keep yourselves from the accursed thing. He said, look, keep yourself away from anything that is an abomination, any kind of that is worship, lest you make yourselves accursed. When you take of the accursed thing, make the camp of Israel a curse and trouble it. But all the silver and the gold and the vessels of brass and iron are consecrated unto Yah. They shall come into the treasure of Yah. So if you have something that is gold or that's not made for a deity, you can keep that. But if it's made for a deity, you can't keep it. But what happened when Achan took of the accursed thing and Israel began to lose the battles that they was fighting? In fact, they was fighting against Ai. And they thought that they could just go up there and conquer them with about 3,000 men. And Ai had, what, 30-something men and whooped all of them. And when they whooped them, they wanted to, how in the world can these folks, and we got more men than they had. So Joshua and the elders got on their knees and began to pray to the Most High. And the Most High told them, and took up the accursed thing. And you need to go handle the situation. So in handling the situation, they found out that the accursed thing was from the tribe of Judah. So they called them out. And I want you to see how Achan, how when he was called out, he admitted that he had done it. And they say, look, man, won't you just tell us what happened? Tell us everything. And I want us to start at the 21st. And this is what he said. I saw among the spoils a goodly Babylonian garment and 200 shekels of silver and wage of gold of 50 shekels weight. And I coveted them and took them, and behold, they hid in the earth in the midst of my tent, and the silver under it. He said, I took it inside of my tent, and I hid it in my tent. So Joshua sent messengers, and they ran unto the tent, and behold, it was hid in his tent, and the silver under it. And they took them of the midst of the tent, and brought them unto Joshua, and unto all the children of Israel, and laid them out before the Creator. And Joshua and all Israel with him took Achan, the son of Zerah, and the silver, and the garment, and the wage of gold, and his sons, and his daughters, and his oxen, and his asses, and his sheep, and his tent, and all that he, and they brought them unto the of Achan. And Joshua said, why hast thou troubled us? The Creator shall trouble thee this day. And all Israel stoned him with stones, and burned them with fire. After they had stoned them with stones, took him, everything. And they raised over him a great heap of stones unto this day. So the Creator turned from the fierceness of Jacob. Wherefore the name of that place was called the Valley of Achan, Achor, unto this day. The accursed thing the very thing that the Creator told us not to mess with. That was the thing that they went and got. A curse to the nation of Israel. So when we are worshiping these other deities, or having this cross around our neck, or whatever the case may be, it is a curse to us. Because first of all, the Creator chose to us. Even of Israel, we had situations that came up where our forefathers were serving these other deities. And they was worshiping these deities and having prophets to these deities. And yet, we had men who would stand up against it. And it's hard to stand up against somebody when you have the king on their side. But Elijah was one of those who stood up and began to fight for the Most High. So look at 1 Kings, the 18th chapter. And we're going to start reading at the 17th verse, because I want you to understand something. Here you have where the children of Israel were, and they was having a drought. There was no rain, and the people were suffering. And they were suffering because the Most High didn't allow it to rain. Well, I think 3 years. So you think people who were suffering bad. And Elijah had came and he had went to the king. And he let the king know what you're doing is not right. So this is what I want you to do. Since you have all of these prophets that's calling on these other deities, I'm going to come and go against them. And I want you to let them call on whoever they want. And I'm on the name of the Most High. 17th verse, here you have Ahab, and Elijah. And it says, and it came to pass when Ahab saw Elijah, that Ahab said unto him, art thou he that troubleth? And he answered, I have not troubled Israel, but thou and thy father's house, and that ye have forsaken the commandments of Yah, and thou hast followed the pagan deity. He said, now you the one, because you are following the. He said, now therefore sing and gather to me all Israel unto Mount Carmel, prophets of the pagan deity 450, and the prophets of the grove 400, which eat at Jezebel's table. So here you have 850, 450 of the pagan deity, and 400 of the grove. Now sent unto all the children of Israel and gathered them together unto Mount Carmel. And Elijah came unto all the people and said, how long halt ye between two opinions? How long are you going to serve the pagan deity and yet serve the Most High too? You need to make a decision who you're going to serve. He said Elijah unto the people, Now this was Elijah's mistake. In fact, these words right here got Elijah in trouble because he thought he was the only one. He said, I only remember the prophet of the Creator. And we know this is not true because later on down, the Creator told Elijah, no, I got 7,000. Never bow to Baal. He said, but Baal's prophets are 450 men. Let them therefore give us 2 bullocks, and let them choose 1 bullock for themselves and cut it in pieces, and lay it on wood, and put no fire under. And I would dress the other bullock and lay it on wood, and put no fire under. And call ye on the name of your deities. And I will call on the name of Yah. And the Elohim that answer by fire, let him be Elohim. And all the people answered and said, it is well spoken. And Elijah said unto the prophet of the pagan deity, choose you 1 bullock for yourselves and dress it first. For ye are many, and call on the name of your deity. Put no fire under. Say, it's a lot of you all. So you get yours first. And they took the bullock, which was given them, and they dressed it and called on the name of their deity from morning even unto noon. All morning, they calling on the name of their deity, saying, O deity, hear us. But there was no voice, nor any that answered. And they leaped upon the altar which was made. You see it all the time. In the churches, they running up and down the aisles, they're jumping and shouting. And it came to pass at noon that Elijah mocked them and said, cry aloud, for he is a deity. Either he's talking, or he is pursuing, or he is in a journey. And peradventure he sleeps and must be awake. He's talking about it. And they cried out and cut themselves after the manner with knives and lances till the blood gushed out upon them. And it came to pass when midday was past, and they prophesied unto the time of the sacrifice, that there was neither voice nor any to answer that regard. And Elijah said unto all the people, come near unto me. And all the people came near unto him. And he repaired the altar of the Creator that was broken down. And Elijah took 12 stones of the number of the tribe of the sons of Jacob, unto whom the word of the Creator came, saying, Israel shall be thy name. And with the stones he built an altar in the name of Yah. He made a trench about the altar, as great as would contain 2 measures of seed. And he put the wood in order, and cut the bullock, and laid him on the wood, and said, fill 4 barrels with water, and pour it on the burnt sacrifice, and on the wood. And he said, do it the 2nd time. And they did it the 2nd time. And he said, do it the 3rd time. And they did it the 3rd time. And the water ran around about the altar, filled it also with water, putting water all over everything. And it came to pass at the time of the offering of the evening sacrifice that Elijah the prophet came near and said, Yah, Elohim of Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yisrael, let it be known this day that thou art Elohim in Israel, and I am thy servant, and that I have done all these things at thy word. Hear me, that this people may know that thou art Elohim, and that thou art back again. Then the fire the burnt sacrifice, and the wood, and the stone, and the dust, and licked up the water that was in the trench. And when all the people saw it, they fell on their faces, and they said, Yah, he is Elohim. Yah, he is Elohim. And Elijah said unto them, take the prophets of the pagan dead, and let not one of them escape. And they took them, and Elijah brought them down to the brook Kishon, and slew them there. Here you have the prophet of the Most High. He is doing the things that the Most High wanted him to do, and he conquered. He conquered the prophets of Baal. He conquered them. And that's all we have to do. All we have to do is what the Most High tells us to do. And we will conquer them. We will conquer Christianity. We will conquer Islam, Buddhism, and all of the other religions that we have. We will conquer if we are putting our trust in the Most High. See, the Creator promised us the land of Canaan. And we've been talking about this all morning. It's conditional. Us being in our land was conditional. The reason that we are in America is because we were not keeping the laws, statutes, of the Most High. Now the Most High took us out of our land. He took us out of our land and put us in another land. And how he brought another people and put their people in our land. And the people that are in that land, how they want nation to the Most High. In 2 Kings 17th chapter. You have what the Assyrians came into the land of Israel and took out the Israelites, those who had wisdom, those who of the words of the Most. They took out the ones who were the leaders in Israel, took out the prophets of the Most High out of the land, and put them in their own land, and took the ones who was in their land and in the land of Israel, put them in Samaria. And when he put them when they put them people in the land, these people did not the Most High work. And the Most High began to send animals down to kill the people that they had put in the land. So I want us to see how the Most High rejected Israel and put another nation, other nation, in the land that he had promised to our fathers. In 2 Kings, the 17th chapter and 18th verse, it says, therefore the Creator was very angry with Israel and removed them out of his sight. And there was none left but the tribe of Judah. Also Judah kept not the commandments of their Elohim, but walked in the statutes of Israel which they made. And the Creator rejected all the seed of Israel and afflicted them and delivered them into the hand of spoilers until he had cast them out of his sight. For he rent Israel from the house of David, and they made Jeroboam the son of Nebat king, and Jeroboam drave Israel from far and made them sin a great sin. So when Israel split up as a nation, 10 tribes going with Israel and 2 tribes going with, he split them up. And Israel began to sin greatly because of Jeroboam. He said, for the children of Israel walked in all the sins of Jeroboam, which he did. They were not from them. Israel out of his sight, as he had said by all his servants the prophets. So with Israel carried away out of their own land to Assyria unto this day. This is how our forefathers got out of the land of Israel. The Assyrians took them out and put them in their lands. And the king of Assyria brought men from Babylon and from Cutha and from Ava and from Hamath and from Sephardim, and placed them in the cities of Samaria instead of the children of Israel. That's Samaria, and dwelt in the cities thereof. And understand this. These people were not Israel. These people did not know how to serve the Most High. Because first of all, it chose us and not them. And so it was at the beginning of there that they feared not Yah. So when they first came into the land, they weren't even studying about what the Creator had to say. Therefore the Creator sent lions among them, which slew some of them. The lions came in and slew. Wherefore they spake to the king of Assyria, saying, the nation which thou hast removed and placed in the cities of Samaria know not the manner of the Elohim of the land. Therefore he was among them, and behold, they slay them, because they know not the manner of the Elohim of the land. And I want us to listen to this, understand what's being said. Because people that don't know about the Most High, and go back and get a priest about the Most High. And I want you to see exactly what they are doing. Commanded saying, carry there one of the priests whom ye brought from thence, and let them go and dwell there, and let them teach them the manner of the Elohim of the land. Then one of the priests whom they had carried away from Samaria came and dwelt in Bethel. They should notice what it said. Taught them how they should fear Yah. But I want you to see something, because you can understand what's going on in the land. He said, but howbeit, every nation did this of their own. Now he was teaching them how to serve, but they did this of their own, and put them in the house of the high places which the Samaritans had made, every nation in their cities they dwelt. So you had all of these different nations in the land of Israel worshiping the deity that they had brought from their own land and trying to worship them like they worshiping the Most High. Don't that tell you something? You got these Christians calling themselves Christians, trying to get to the Most High through what? Through their deity. It says, and the men of Babylon made Sakkar, Benah. The men of Cup made Nergal. And the men of Hamath made Achan. And the Avites made Nahar. And Tartak and the Sephardites burnt their children in fire to Adramelech. and deities of Samaria. So they feared the Creator. Listen to this. So they feared the Creator and made unto themselves the lords of the priests, of the high places, which sacrificed for them in the house of the high places. They feared Yah and served their own deities after the manner of the nations, whom they carried away from thence. They were still serving their own deities. He said, unto this day they do after the former manner. They fear not the Creator, neither do they after their statutes, or after their ordinance, or after their laws and commandments, which the Creator commanded the children of Jacob, whom he named Israel, with whom the Creator has made a covenant, and charged them, saying, you shall not fear other deities, nor bow yourselves to them, nor serve them, nor sacrifice to them. That's what these people were doing. But the Creator who brought you up out of the land of Egypt with great power and a stretched out arm, him shall ye fear, and him shall ye worship, and to him shall you do sacrifice. And the statutes and the ordinance and the law and the commandment which he wrote for you, ye shall observe to do forevermore. And ye shall not fear other deities. And the covenant that I have made with you, ye shall not forget, neither shall ye fear other deities. But the Creator your Elohim ye shall fear, and he shall deliver you out of the hand of all your enemies. Albeit they did not hearken, but they did after their former manner. So these nations feared Yah and served their graven images, both their children and their children's children, as did their fathers, so did they unto this day. Because we rejected the Most High, the Creator put the people in that pretty much did what they wanted to do. So we have to learn how to get that relationship back with the Most High we once had. How do we get it back? We have to go back to what the Creator taught us. The Creator only gave His word to one nation of people, and that was to the nation of Israel. So we have to go back to what the Creator gave to the nation of Israel. He tells us in Psalms 147 and 20, He shows His words unto Jacob, His statutes and His judgment unto Israel. He has not dealt so with any nation. And as for His judgment, hallelujah. Hallelujah. Now that moment, we have to fear the Most High. We have learned not the ways of the heathen. We have to fear the Most High. And you fear the Most High by doing what He says. All of us, we need to be like Joshua. Joshua told the people, he told the people, he said, look, you got to fear Yah. He said, I don't know what you're going to do, but I'm going to fear Yah. In Joshua, the 24th chapter, and the 14th verse, he said, now therefore fear Yah, and serve Him in sincerity and in truth, and put away the deities which your fathers served on the other side of the flood, and in Egypt, and serve ye Yah. He said, look, those deities that our forefathers served in Egypt and in the wilderness, he said, look, we need to get rid of them. And if it seem evil unto you to serve Yah, choose you this day whom you will serve. Whether the deities which your fathers served that was on the other side of the flood, or the deities of the Amorite, in whose land we dwell. But as for me and my house, we will serve Yah. And that's the way we should be. We should be willing to fear Yah. Because the Creator has spoken to us, and He has let us know that we are His people. And He is our Elohim. Look at what the Creator tells us in Amos, 3rd chapter. Hear this word that the Creator has spoken against you, O children of Yisrael, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore I will punish you for all your iniquity. If you want to know why we are taken up out of the land, it's because we have rejected the Most High. And the Most High has let us know that, hey, He chose us. And because He chose us, He gave us His law. And because we have rejected His laws, He's going to punish us. If you notice the people that they brought into the land, the Creator just let them do what they wanted to do. Because the Creator had chose us. They coming. And they're going to pay. Let's not get caught up with them. The scriptures tell us, can two walk together except they agree? Can two walk together except they agree? Will a lion roar in the forest when he has no prey? Will a young lion cry out of his den if he have taken nothing? Can a bird fall in a snare upon the earth where no gin is for him? Shall one take up a snare from the earth and have taken nothing at all? Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in the city, and Yah has not done it? Can there be evil in the city, and Yah hasn't done it? Scriptures tell us, it says, surely Yah will do nothing, but He revealed His secret unto His servants, the prophets. The Creator gonna tell us everything we need to know if we put our trust. The lion has roared. Who will not fear? Yah has spoken, and who can but prophesy? Yah has spoken, and He has told us what we must do. And I'm going to leave you with Deuteronomy, the 4th chapter. And I want us to go to the first verse. Because I want you to understand how important it is for us to obey the words of the Most High. To listen to everything that He tells us to do. He said, now therefore hearken, O Israel, unto the statutes and unto the judgments which I teach you for to do there, that you may live and go in and possess the land which Yah, Elohim of your fathers, give you. Ye shall not add unto the words which I command you, neither shall you diminish aught from it, that you may keep the commandments of Yah your Elohim which I command you. Your eyes have seen what Yah did because of the pagan did. For all the men that followed the pagan deity, Yah, thy Elohim, has destroyed them from among you. The scriptures say, everybody who have followed the pagan deity, he destroyed them. Listen to this. But ye that cleave unto Yah, your Elohim, are alive, every one of you, this day.
Hallelujah. Thank you, Father.
He said, behold, I have taught you statutes and judgment, even as the Creator, my Elohim, commanded me, that you should do so in the land whether you go to possess it. Keep therefore and do them. For this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of who? In the sight of the nation. This is your wisdom in the sight of the nation. This is your wisdom in America, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. For what nation is there so great, who has Yah so nigh unto them, as Yah our Elohim is in all things that we call upon him for? And what nation is there so great that has statutes and judgments so righteous as all this law which I set before you this day?
Hallelujah.
What other nation that has the laws and the statutes and the judgment that the Creator has given to his people Israel? No other nation. May the Creator bless you and keep you. Hallelujah! 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 Praise the mighty Yah. Praise the mighty Yah. Yah is righteous. Yah is righteous. Yah is holy. Yah is holy. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Now we finna give you all a treat, because we finna have our young children come up, and I'm gonna call Sister Carmel to come up, and she's gonna take over the program. So you all please have a seat and enjoy.
Shalom, everyone. All praises to the Most High God. Alright. We praise Yah in many different ways today. We will praise Him in the form of a play or a program. To elaborate more on that, I'm going to call Sister Mayen for a welcome.
Shabbat shalom, everybody.
Shabbat shalom.
I welcome everybody to our program today. I hope all you brothers and sisters enjoyed it. And also welcome to our guests who were able to make it on our Holy Shabbat day. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayen. Alright, now we will have a few selections from the choir as the children get ready.
God is good in everything He does. He's everything you
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom.
It's good to be here in the house of God.
Hallelujah.
It's good that we have our children here to just show what they have been learning here at the house of Israel. I'm here today to speak up on we are the people. The Creator loves us as a people. He chose us to be His people. He didn't choose us because it was a bunch of us as a people. We were many in numbers. In fact, we were the furious. There's only a few here right now. So that is going to show you how a point that we are the people. He chose us simply because he loved us. He also, as Mowreh put it today, he showed us his word in the Psalms of 147, 19 through the 21st. It said he showed his word to Jacob and his statutes and judgments unto Israel. So that's why we're here to keep his commandments and prove to him that we are his people. And we should love him back. He didn't do that with any other nation. He didn't show them their judgment. He said he didn't even know them. Also in Deuteronomy 32 and 10, as a nation of people, we've been through a lot. Here in these United States, we've been the lowest. And in Deuteronomy chapter 32, it says, he found him as in us, in a desert land, a waste howling wilderness. He led him about. He instructed him to keep him as the apple of his eye. So that's how the Creator feel about us, and that's how we should feel. We should feel that we're the apple of his eye. That means that we are the ones that's sparkling in the Creator's eye. And so that's why I'm here today, to just point out a few of the facts to show that we are the people. And I would like to just say hallelujah and praise Almighty Yah.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Thank you, brother. Now, children, you get ready to have one more selection from Sister Yisrael.
Hallelujah.
Praise.
All praise due to y'all. And glad to be in the house of y'all. I'm just gonna try to sing a little old type hymn that I feel is appropriate to play. And it's very simple. And if y'all wanna join in, you can. And after you hear the words the first time, then you might wanna join in. Praise and honor. Oh, Israel, don't you weep, don't you mourn. Oh, Israel, don't you weep, don't you mourn. Pharaoh's army got drowned in the Red Sea. Oh, Israel, don't you weep, don't you mourn. Oh, Israel, don't you weep, don't you mourn. Pharaoh's army got drowned in the Red Sea. God told Moses to lead Israel. God told Moses to lead Israel. God told Moses to lead Israel into a promised land. Oh, Israel, don't you weep, don't you mourn. Oh, Israel, don't you weep, don't you mourn. Pharaoh's army got drowned in the Red Sea. Pharaoh disobeyed God's law. Pharaoh disobeyed God's law. Pharaoh disobeyed God's law. They got drowned in the Red Sea. Oh, Israel, don't you weep, don't you mourn. Oh, Israel, don't you weep, don't you mourn. Pharaoh's army got drowned in
Red Sea.
Hallelujah. Well, dear.
All right, so thank you, Yaya. That was lovely. All right, so without further ado, I believe the children are ready. Keep in mind, these are children. They can use your encouragement, and we are accepting donations for improvement. So everyone welcome the children by saying hallelujah.
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 Moses, I am sending you to the Pharaoh.
I am nobody.
I will be with you, Moses.
What if they don't believe me?
Throw your staff.
Blood, big sound here. I will not let your Israelites go. I told you to let my people go.
I wanna know.
I wanna know, do you love me?
I wanna know.
I wanna know, will you do this?
I wanna know.
I wanna know, will you testify?
I wanna know.
Who do you love?
I wanna know.
I wanna know, do you love me?
I wanna know.
I wanna know, will you testify?
I wanna know.
Who do you love?
There's something about that name I love.
Praise God's holy name.
I love to sing and praise God's holy name.
Praise God's holy name.
I wanna know.
Do you love ya?
I wanna know.
I wanna know, will you do this with?
I wanna know.
I wanna know, will you testify?
I wanna know.
Who do you love?
Put lamb blood on the top of your doors and I will pass over you.
My son is dead. Get these Israelites out of here fast. Go, quick. Come on, follow me. Wave in the water. Wave in the water. Help me! Help me! Help me! We're drowning! Help me! Help!
The water was cold.
God's gonna trouble the water.
Shiver my body, but not my soul.
God's gonna trouble the water.
Wade in the water.
Wade in the water, children. Wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. No food, no water to drink out here. You must want us to die. Most High Creator, we pray for food and water to drink. Come on, follow me.
Hallelujah. Praise God.
Did y'all like that? Yes. Did y'all like that?
Yes.
If you like this, let me hear you say hallelujah! 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 Praise the mighty Yah.
Praise the mighty Yah.
Yah is righteous.
Yah is righteous.
Yah is holy.
Yah is holy.
This is what we need. We need our children. We need our children to learn about the Most High and to do the things that the Most High wants them to do. Get them out of these streets. Get them off of these drugs. Keep them from selling drugs.
Hallelujah.
Here is our future.
Hallelujah. Praise God.
And how we treat our future is how we're going to treat ourselves in the future.
Hallelujah.
Because in the future, they're going to be us. So let us give them a hand by saying hallelujah. 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 Praise the mighty Yah.